The title of this video is 5 Things Women 40 Plus Must Do to Lower Cortisol and Stop Belly Fat Gain. And if that grabbed your attention, there's a good reason. You may have been eating less, exercising more, or trying every new plan, and yet your waistline keeps feeling thicker or more pudgy. I'm Dr. Rosemarie. I'm a doctor of health psychology and cortisol specialist. And in this video, I'm going to cut through the confusion and walk you through 5 specific things that actually lower cortisol, calm your nervous system, and help your body finally let go of stubborn belly fat after 40. The first thing you must do to lower cortisol and stop belly fat gain is to balance your blood sugar with protein and fiber instead of relying on white refined sugar. Now here's what that would actually look like. Every time you eat a lot of refined carbs and sugar by themselves, things like pastries and white bread and candy and juice and sweetened coffee drinks, your blood sugar spikes quickly and then it crashes. And those big swings are stressful for your body. So your brain sees them as a threat and signals your adrenal glands to release more cortisol to clean up the mess. And when this happens, day after day, cortisol levels stay elevated and hunger and cravings get stronger, and your body is more likely to store fat around the midsection. A 2015 diabetes study found that when people ate vegetables first and protein and carbohydrates next, that their post-meal glucose was about 29 to 37% lower. At 30 to 60 minutes, they had lower insulin as well. So stacking your meals in the right sequence and order is very important. If you tend to reach for sugary snacks, let's say around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, here's how you can change that immediately. Replace a cookie and coffee with Greek yogurt and maybe some apple butter. Then you can gradually start reducing the white refined sugar and processed carbs as your blood sugar starts to stabilize. Now, when you do this consistently, you're going to feel fuller longer, your cravings calm down, and your energy becomes more stable. And that's when the cortisol spikes start to subside, because your body now feels that it's safe and it keeps your blood glucose in a safe range. You don't need to follow a perfect rigid diet to see change. And just by simply adding protein and fiber at each meal and slowly phasing out the white refined sugar, you're going to start calming your blood sugar, you're going to lower unnecessary cortisol spikes, and you're going to create a good, solid internal environment. That is what you need to release the belly fat. The second thing that women 40 plus must do is to protect sleep. This is a non-negotiable hormone reset, and we're aiming for 7 to 9 hours a night with a cutoff between 10 and 11 p.m. Let's talk about sleep. Here's what occurs when you sleep. Your body repairs tissues, it balances hormones, and it naturally lowers your cortisol. So when you regularly stay up past midnight and scroll on the phone or in your bed, that's 5 to 6 hours of broken sleep, and your cortisol rhythm gets broken. Here's what happens. Nighttime cortisol stays high, morning energy feels low, and your body starts to depend on sugar and caffeine just to get through the day. You have that tired but wired feeling, you're exhausted, but your brain can't calm down, and that's often a sign of a stressed nervous system and a disrupted cortisol pattern. I want you to download my How to Calm Cortisol Chaos guide. It's in this video's description, and it'll give you practical steps for how to lower cortisol in 3 simple steps. Let's get back to sleep. You want to start by choosing a realistic bedtime, right? You want to turn your lights off maybe before 10 and 11 p.m. and you want to create what's called a wind down routine. That might look like you dimming the lights, closing your laptop, doing a warm shower or bath, or maybe doing some gentle stretches and 5 minutes of journaling just to get your worries out. And keep your bedroom cool and dark and quiet. Also, avoid large heavy meals or lots of caffeine after 2 p.m. If you tend to wake up between 2 and 3 a.m., start to experiment with having a balanced evening snack that includes protein and fiber. That'll help to stop the blood sugar spikes. This will also help to reduce cravings and make fat loss and muscle maintenance much easier. So you don't have to transform your sleep habits overnight. You start with establishing a consistent cutoff time, followed by a wind down routine, and then you stop the scrolling after a certain time so that you can get good, restful sleep. This will help your body shift into repair mode, and that will directly support the belly fat. The third thing that you must do is to train your stress response. This means that even though we can't have a completely stress-free life, when your system is locked in fight or flight, that is where the belly fat starts to happen. Cortisol spikes, and it's very difficult for your blood sugar levels to stay stable. An unsafe body will hold on to fat, especially around the midsection. So what we want to do is, instead of waiting for a vacation to relax, press pause and create small daily shifts so that your body can calm down. Some practical solutions: take 10 to 20-minute walks outside of your home. Turn your phone on silent and just have that downtime so that you can get away from your to-do list. You want to build in 5-minute pauses between tasks. This way, your transition time, you can practice some slow, deep breathing. Use short journaling prompts, like, for example, what is one thing that I can control today? Or what can wait until next week? This will help you get out of that all or nothing thinking. And these tiny practices actually send a powerful message to your nervous system that, hey, we are allowed to come out of fight or flight. Some deep breathing, some journal writing will help to keep your cortisol levels out of that chronically elevated zone. Now, you may not be able to change your job or your responsibilities or your priorities, and that's okay. Just by adding a few minutes of intentional stress relief practices, you will begin to retrain your nervous system, lower your overall stress load, and make it so much easier for your body to let go of that stored belly fat. Download my How to Calm Cortisol Chaos guide in this video's description. It will give you practical steps for calming your nervous system and lowering cortisol in 3 steps. The fourth thing women 40 plus must do is move in a way that supports cortisol and does not promote the storage of belly fat. So your high intensity cardio workouts, it's time to put those to the side and start focusing on actually building muscle. So body composition is really what starts to take precedence. Your body loses muscle every single year. And so what we want to do is keep supporting joints, keep supporting resting metabolism, and keep avoiding long, stressful workouts or constant high-intensity training. That's just layering stress up upon poor sleep and ending up feeling exhausted. On the other hand, consistent walking and strength training are powerful for both stress regulation and fat loss. So aim for about 20 minutes of walking most days. And once you've nailed that down, you can start phasing in maybe 2 sessions of strength training. Walking after meals is especially helpful for blood sugar control. 2 to 3 strength training sessions, perfect, more than enough. And that will help you focus on things like your squats, your lunges, your hip hinges, do some rows, do some presses, work with resistance bands. And if you're not exercising now, start with 10 minutes of walking after each meal, and especially after your biggest meal. Phase in your 2 days of strength training, maybe a Monday or a Thursday, so your body has time to recover in between. And over time, what you're going to notice is more strength, better posture, and a much more responsive metabolism. That is a perfect setup for your body to start losing that midsection fat. So you don't have to become an athlete, you don't have to live in the gym, you don't have to do brutal workouts. A consistent walking habit plus a couple of strength training sessions each week is more than enough to lower stress, protect and build muscle, and finally give your body the signals that it needs to release that stored, stubborn fat. The fifth thing you must do is create a simple implementation plan, because we don't want these great ideas just living in your head. We actually want to do them. So knowing what to do is not the same thing as doing. So what we need to do is we want to set some goals. Pick one of them: sleep, stress less, maybe movement, Anything that will help to calm your nervous system, that is what we want to focus on. But pick one, because if you have a clear written plan around it, that's going to transform these ideas into a doable action plan. Let's say you take that one action and you focus on it for the next 2 weeks, blood sugar or sleep or stress breaks. I want you to answer 4 questions on paper or in your notes. Ask yourself, what will I do and when will I do it? Pick specific days, pick specific times. And for how long will I commit? Am I going to do it for 2 weeks, maybe 30 days? What are my backup strategies? What are my contingencies if something goes wrong? Maybe having a protein shake instead of cooking a meal, or taking a 10-minute walk instead of a 20-minute walk. Choose one form of accountability. Maybe you're going to text your friend. Maybe you're going to check it off on your checklist. Or maybe you're going to write a comment under this video so that we know that your plan lives somewhere instead of just your mind. What I want you to do is layer that in until it starts to feel automatic. This slow habit stacking is a lot kinder to your nervous system, so you're not forcing yourself or pushing yourself, and you won't hear yourself saying, oh, I fell off the wagon. Instead, you'll feel that short-term effort led to a big payoff. So you don't need to overhaul your entire life this week. You only need one clear change, a realistic plan, and a gentle accountability system. Small, consistent actions, when done purposefully, will teach your body that it's safe to lower cortisol. And at the same time, you are also getting rid of that stored fat. Download my 10 signs that your hormones are blocking fat loss after 40. Because if you're a woman over 40 dealing with stubborn midsection fat, it's not because your body is broken or you lack willpower. It is simply because your cortisol, your blood sugar, and sleep and movement systems have been out of alignment for a long time. And no one showed you how to line them up in your favor. But you can start now with these 5 steps. Take these 5 steps, write down your plan, and give yourself permission to be imperfect. Just aim for consistency. Your body is capable of change, no matter what the age. Just give it the right signals and the right shifts. They're going to be moving in the right direction. So now that you know 5 things women 40 plus must do to lower cortisol and stop belly fat gain, you might be wondering how to lose stubborn visceral fat fast, 0 cortisol. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts by watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. This is Dr. Rosemary. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.